I've been studying the emotions spiritually, interrogating the matters of our nation. I've been doing a spiritual diagnosis. Because I stand as a priest, not a politician. So I have to give solution from a place of priesthood. So I must see in the spirit. Then I sat down with a man and he began to give me some things. I said, you've just opened my eye. You see, there is an altar under Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya. There is an altar there. And a very strong altar. And people have been sacrificing. It's not abandoned. Generations after generations sacrifice. Before the man rose, the one you know, defending the mountain, he fasted there 40 days. And it is in public domain. Said, I'm trying to interrogate, introspect, and I'm in prayer. I'm in prayer in the mountain. Do you know Daniel, when he was confronted in Babylon, he faced the altar of Jerusalem. So when someone is facing the mountain, it's not the mountain they are worshiping. There is an altar. Okay. So I began to interrogate. I asked, this mountain. Then I sat with Akamba and he told me, you know, the name Kenya is a Kamba name that came from the word Kia. So Akamba went and saw the mountain and he saw the white covering. And he said, Muimawa Kia. 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 These are doves, white birds. Because he couldn't say white, he was trying to say mlima nyeupe. Juni nyeupe. So he said, Muima wa Kia. Interpretation. The white person could not say Kia. He said Kenya. What is Kia? Is it dove? It's white. Someone told me it's the white part of an ostrich. Something like that. So he was trying to explain that this was a white mountain. Then I began to discover, when we got our independence, it is another cousin who went there with a flag and planted it on Muima wa Kia. Monyao. It's in history. He's the one who endorsed our victory on that place. A prophetic woman came and said, the angel that watches over Kenya, that is area. And he said, it's like he has been bound. And so he must be released so that the destiny of the nation can be birthed. Then I asked myself, we have a very powerful prayer as a national anthem, but we took the sound from a lullaby. Are we sleeping or worshiping? I'm still doing my investigation. And then someone asked me, what is this about Gen Zs? I told them, our Pangwingwi. That was the song that took you to power. That was the worship, atmospheric, environmental. Our Pangwingwi. So, that era then was a political motion to fight somebody, but that thing has never been dealt with. Then with stones he built an altar. So what was I was telling you, that mountain, when you see people lift their hands, and now it has become so powerful that if you need influence in the mountain, you must sacrifice there. The ones guarding it are not playing jokes. I can assure you, anyone that rises from the mountain is not from the church. That's the reality. That priesthood is ancient. And the frequency of their sound ancient. And the gathers are serious. That's why when you go towards Kirinyaga, you go towards Nyeri, you realize that prayers were left for women. Because the men are guarding the altar. And when women begin to fight spiritually, they will even rule physically. Majority of the intercessors in Nakuru are women. Look who sits on the throne. It is a Deborah pattern. If I win, the credit will not go to a man. It shall go to a woman. Please don't bring your gender card. Priesthood is ordained for men. That's why in towns like Nyeri, many people who have tried to rise in prayer as men, they get a very serious opposition because their pattern is ancient.
Hey friends, good morning. I want to beat you another story. You know, the other day I beat you a story about the disappearing Mogumo at the altar of the body of Yeshua in Mount Kenya Gikuyu Shrine. So today I want to beat you another story. You know, when I started this mission about KOZ, that is the Kingdom of Zion Establishment, I remember from January 2020, I started talking about revival, and I started talking about revival emanating from Kenya and Renaissance. I started talking about the altar in the mountain that will usher in the revival. I started talking about revival will start in Kenya. I remember the same time I met the Nyeri church over the same. And I used to talk a lot about it. But then, anytime I would go to the internet and search for such information, I would not find it anywhere. There's only one article I saw that was written in 1996 by a certain pastor that talked about Isaiah 18. So when I started talking about these things, I was a big businessman, I was a big politician. Then my friends started coming to my office and they'll start asking me, Mbogo, is everything okay? Some would send me messages, some would call me, my family would come, they would ask questions, and everybody looked like they were worried about my mental health. You know, something repeated so many times can also affect you. So when I started going through the internet and listening, and nobody is talking about those things I'm talking about, one day I remember it was I think February, the night of February 2021. On that night, I also started asking myself, could there be something wrong with me? Why is everybody saying there's something wrong with me? Then I started asking myself, this mission I have in the forest, was it hallucination? The building of all those altars, was it hallucination? What did I do wrong? Why is everybody talking against it? Why is the church fighting me? Why are the elders fighting me? Why is the family getting worried? So I woke up very early, and then I called a certain pastor friend of mine. He was engaged, he couldn't come. So I called another young man, and I told him, young man, I want you to take me to the forest. I didn't tell him even the reason. So we woke up very early, and we were at the mountain altar at around 10:30. So I told the young man, I want us to go to the old altar of the old covenant, that is the Gikuyu shrine altar, where we had all started. I didn't even tell him what you are going to do, but deep in me, I wanted to go and ask God, am I normal? Am I normal, God? How comes these things I'm talking about, nobody else is talking about them? So to we parked the vehicle at the hotel. Those who've been there, you know where the hotel is. And then the Kagate, we enter the forest in. So reaching there, that Kagate hit my head. It was so painful. Then I asked this young man, how come this gate has hit me? It has not hit me for the years I've been here. So he didn't talk. So we walked. So we wanted to pass the altar of the body of Yeshua so that we can go to the altar of the old covenant, because that is where he started, so that I can ask God a few questions. So on reaching there, my body became very heavy. I felt like collapsing. Before I could tell the young man, hold me, I was told, turn left. So I turned left. But then 3 steps, I felt paper light. So I told the young man, can you go to where the altar is? I don't know why I'm being pushed there. So on reaching where the altar of the body of Yeshua is, there are some bushes that are down there. Then they started burning. I could hear fire and then big smoke. But then I was not seeing the physical fire. But I could hear fire, and then very big smoke. So I told the young man, can we stand? Then the smoke started coming towards us and there was no fire. But it was still sounding like there is fire. Up to the tree that was near us. So I told this young man, can we push a little bit back? So we pushed. Then the smoke now moved to another tree that is up there, and it built a temple with roofing and windows and all that. Then I asked the young man, are you seeing what I'm seeing? He told me, yes, I'm also seeing. What is that? So we took some few steps toward it, then it disappeared. We took some few steps back, then the temple reappeared. Then like a small temple moved up it, and then the smoke started coming towards us. So I told this young man, it's coming for us, let's fall down in prayer. So we fell flat down in prayers, and we prayed. The smoke came above us, and when it came above us, we prayed until now the young man told me the smoke has disappeared. So we woke up and praised God. You can imagine how emboldened I was, that I was actually not a madman. So when I heard another pastor saying there is a powerful altar in the mountain, there's a powerful altar in the mountain, and another apostle in Mombasa saying there is a very powerful portal, let people not doubt. Anyway, this message is for the DCI director, Mr. Amin Haji, and NIS director, it is jihadist, DG Haji. Have a lovely day. And remember, you read Isaiah 50.